From the Strayer book, AP Skills Workshop, Contextualization. In this workshop, you will learn about contextualization, a historical reasoning skill that you can also apply to your everyday life. You may have heard people complain about that their words were taken out of context, or that context is important to understand a current event. In this workshop, we'll look specifically at the role that context plays in the study of history. Understanding contextualization. So what is context, and how will you use the skill of contextualization in the AP course you build as you build your skills as a historian? First, let's think about what contextualization means. Contextualization, considering the historical situation surrounding an event or process. That means that a historian looks at an event in terms of the cultural norms, political structures, religious beliefs, geographic and environmental factors, and other contexts that might have affected the event occurred or how people responded to it. Context helps a historian see an event through the eyes of those who experienced it and take into account all of the surrounding factors. While something might seem unusual from our perspective or context, a good historian understands the historical context and moves beyond making judgments. Contextualization is an important part of understanding why something happened. But be careful, contextualization is not causation. When we contextualize, we are not looking for the thing that started an event, but rather the situation in which the event occurred. Often, contextualization is used to lay the groundwork for a claim or a thesis. Let's see how the authors of this book do it. In the following paragraph, authors use contextualization to set the stage for their claim. The early ancestors of the Swahili lived in small farming and fishing communities, spoke African Bantu languages, and traded with Arabian, Greek, and Roman merchants who occasionally visited the coast in ancient times. But what stimulated the growth of Swahili cities was far more extensive commercial life of the Western Indian Ocean following the rise of Islam. As in Southeast Asia, local people and aspiring rulers found opportunity for wealth and power in the growing demand for East African products, but were associated with an expanding Indian Ocean commerce. Gold, ivory, quartz, leopard skins, and sometimes slaves acquired from interior societies, as well as iron and processed timber manufactured along the coast, found a ready market in Arabia, Persia, India, and beyond. At least one East African giraffe found its way to Bengal in northeastern India, and from there was sent on to China. In response to such commercial opportunities, an African merchant class developed. Villages turned into sizable towns, and clans' chiefs became kings. Notice how the authors use contextualization to paint a full picture of a historical situation they'll be dealing with in their argument. It actually demonstrates two different types of context. The first sentence sets a chronological context by setting the stage for how trade was conducted prior to Indian Ocean trade. The last sentence sets the context across cultures by comparing East African experience of Indian Ocean trade with that of the people in the Far East, in Southeast Asia. This is a very good example of the moves you'll need to make to be successful writing essays on the AP exam. Contextualization on the AP World History exam. On the AP exam, the historical thinking skill of contextualization will be tested in a variety of ways. A multiple choice question may test your understanding of context behind historical events and processes. On a short answer question, you may need to accurately explain how historical context influenced a specific process or development. In a long essay question and document-based question, you will need to use contextualization as the basis of your impromptu paragraph, setting the stage for your claim by contextualizing the event that the prompt is asking you to write about.